Thank you. Came off a tough loss this week. Turnovers were the name of the game. We had 5. They had none. Also, the third down percentage of being able to stay on the field proved to be too much for us. Thought the kids set and played really, really well for them. We had another good game out of Zay Jones. Unfortunately, we couldn't cap off drives because they were marred with turnovers in the middle of a lot of those drives. Looking forward to Navy. They execute their offense as well as anybody in this conference and in this country, to say the least. They've been in a lot of tough games, so they're battle-tested in some of those tight games and tight situations. We know that each possession is going to be very, very important. Can't lose a possession to them. You definitely can't turn the football off against them, and whenever you can steal a possession by creating a turnover, that's something that you have to do.
Take questions for Coach Montgomery. Please star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. Then the operator will introduce you.
Thank you, and we'll go to Dan Tortora from wakeupcalldt.com.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Good. To look at, this past game, obviously to come through a loss, but what were the positive takeaways, and what are some of the positive takeaways that you've had so far this season despite having 7 losses? What are some of the things you've seen develop with this team in your first season?
We've gotten better, offensively. There's no question that we've gotten better in the red zone as we move forward. We've continued to get better there with our red zone scoring. But the biggest thing that's gotten better that I would say is trending upward is our special teams play. Our special teams play has grown quite a bit.
And as you move forward and look at the upcoming game that you just mentioned here for a few minutes, when you look at Navy, just to speak on their offense and if you've ever seen anything like it, if there's anyone that can duplicate or mimic it, or if you think that they stand alone.
I think they kind of stand alone. We went against Georgia Tech several times. We actually played against Navy and we played against Army, but I think they have the purest form of what they do. Combined with their toughness at the quarterback position and the people running the football, it makes it really tough because, a lot of people now they feel like they have it schematically set to go tackle the football and even, avoiding and defeating some cut blocks, but the ball carriers make it really tough for guys to get guys on the ground. So they have the purest form. They know the answers to it, and they know your adjustments to it. But what I think they have, a lot of other people don't have, is just true toughness in running the offense.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and we'll go next to Bill Wagner from the Baltimore Sun Media Group.
Hey, Coach. The way this worked out with the postponement, I'm wondering, what you think. I'm thinking that a short week where you're home and they have to travel might have been more advantageous to you. Now that being back to a Saturday game, 4 o'clock, does it really matter to you when the difference in now that the game's been postponed?
Well, at that point in time, we really needed a break. We had a lot of guys beat up, but now at this point in time of the year, it's still late, and we still have some guys beat up. But we needed the time to prepare. We got a couple of days in that week for them, and then we'll get this whole week. So I like the preparation time.
Second question I was asked was Navy is winning a lot of close games, 42-40 this past week against Tulsa, 46-40 against Houston. Anything you're seeing in Navy that is enabling them to pull out close games?
Possessions. I think they're maximizing their possessions. They very rarely give a possession up, so they put so much stress on you to score every time. So if you don't score one time, they get it back. They're doing a good job of answering most possessions.
And last but not least from me, I'm going to write a feature about Zay Jones. The Biletnikoff Award semifinalists just came out. He's one of them and very deserving of that. What can you say about this kid? Why his production is off the charts, and it's every week.
Yeah, he comes to work, every single day, prepares and practices, as hard as anybody I've ever been around. Great player, great talent, great person, all around, just a good football player.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. And we'll go next to Ronnie Woodward from the Greenville Daily Reflector.
Hey, Scottie, you touched on it there a little bit, but with how efficient Navy can be on offense, is there a certain philosophy or strategy for when you have the ball as far as do you want to try to win with the shootout or just score as many points as you can because they're gonna put up points and be efficient when they have the ball?
I think the main thing is we got to be efficient when we have the ball as well. There will be some strategy that's different in a normal game that we have to be a part of, just because you can't go out and think that you can take. You got to have great first down calls. You got to have really, really good first down calls when you play against Navy offensively, is what I'm saying. And then you don't want your defense out there all the time. But we definitely have to score by any means necessary. And the other thing is when you don't score with Navy, you definitely have to end every possession with the kick.